What's going on, guys? So today I want to talk to you guys about a peptide that I have used personally, which is going to be Melanotan 2. Now guys, I'm just going to go ahead and share my experience with this peptide, and any of the other peptides or compounds or supplements or things that I talk about on this channel are simply my experience, and they're for entertainment purposes only. These are not medical advice, and I'm not making recommendations to you to go out and try these things on your own. If you decide to go out and try these things on your own, that is your decision. However, I would like to share some of my experience with them. And if you find this video helpful, please go ahead and share it with someone else. Or if you found this video entertaining, you're more than welcome to also share my content, and I'd appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're talking about Melanotan 2. Melanotan 2 is known as the tanning peptide. Many people, including myself, take this peptide in order to achieve a darker complexion. I'm naturally fair-skinned. I have some Irish in me, I've got some Russian in me, so I don't necessarily tan very well. I actually would get sunburnt, and I live down here in Florida to where the sun is cooking about 9 months out of the year. And so what interested me in this peptide was not only the benefits for tanning, but why the peptide was designed in the first place. And the reason this peptide was designed was to prevent skin cancer and to prevent sun damage in fair-skinned individuals. So I thought this is perfect for me, and I did my research and I decided to give it a shot myself. And I have now used this peptide sporadically over the last 7 to 8 years, and I have mostly good things to say about it. However, I will get to some of the negative side effects and risks towards the end of this video that I have experienced. So, first benefit, it helps me achieve a darker complexion. Like I said, I live down here in Florida, and the way I use this peptide is I will take it when I know I'm going to be in the sun. Now, there are protocols on the internet that you can go and follow for yourself if it's something that you want to pursue. But typically what I would do, or when I've started this protocol, is I will start it and I'll take it every single day for about a week, maybe 2. Sometimes I get a little bit lazy on actually taking the peptide, but if you want to see the full benefits, I noticed that when I was taking it on a consistent basis and then switched to a maintenance dosage, that's how I maintain the best tan possible. However, there are some other benefits that are worth noting about this peptide, and the second benefit that is worth noting is this peptide, in my experience, has increased my libido and has actually improved erections. So what is better than that? You're tan and you got better erections and just a higher libido overall. For some people, that might be a problem. For me, I'm more than happy with that. And you know, for some people, that could be a huge distraction, because it really does almost feel like you're 15 years old and you're getting called up in class, and you got to ratchet everything down, because sometimes the erections will kind of come unannounced. So just be mindful of that if this is something you decide to get into. Now, lastly, another benefit that I have experienced myself is I notice it has improved my overall body composition when I'm utilizing this peptide on a fairly consistent basis. So what I mean by that is I have seen some fat loss. Now, I'm not going to say that this peptide is a fat burner. There's stronger fat burners, quote unquote. However, I do notice that I'm a little bit leaner when I'm taking this peptide. Now, that may be just visual, because if you're tanner, you can kind of see some more definition and things like that. You could argue that. However, I would actually say that I am a bit leaner. And the way I've also kind of been convinced about this is I've taken my blood glucose in the morning and seen that my blood glucose numbers were lower, even eating more food. So that's an interesting benefit, and I can't tell you exactly the mechanisms of action of all the positive and negative effects of this drug. If you are interested in that, I encourage you to do more research. I'm kind of just going to give you more of a surface level understanding and really my experience with it. So if you'd like to learn more, I would encourage you to always research. There's always more research and more learning that you can do. So never stop learning. Google is a fantastic tool, as well as the YouTube search bar. More Plates, More Dates probably has a really good video on it. I'm sure you can come to understand the exact science of this peptide by checking out some searches on Google or here on YouTube. So those are some 3 benefits. So we got tanner skin, we got increased libido and erections, and we got potentially improving overall body composition. Now let's go ahead and get into some negatives, which there are some negatives associated with Melanotan 2. Number 1 that most people, and including myself, have experienced is when I take this peptide, I'll experience some queasiness in my stomach for about the first 10, maybe 15 minutes. It's just a little bit of an upset stomach for me. However, for other individuals, I have seen this kind of ruin their day. So what some people recommend doing is taking this peptide before bed. It has a long half-life, I believe, so I don't believe like you have to take this and go get right out in the sun. I do believe this peptide also works if you're not even in the sun. However, in my experience, I've always utilized some sunshine along with this peptide, and I've gotten good results that way. So like I said, some queasiness on injection. And for me, it lasts about 10 to 15 minutes and I'm on my way. However, I have seen some people get kind of down for the count for about an hour or 2. And if that's the case for you, I'd recommend taking it before bed. The next downside to this peptide is upon injection, along with that queasiness, it can also cause some flushing, or to where you almost get ghostly white. And that just is sort of associated with the nausea. It kind of goes hand in hand. And like I said, for some people that can last 10 to 15 minutes like me. For others, it can, put them down for an hour or 2 or possibly even more. Just kind of the nature of the peptide. I'm not exactly sure why or the reason behind what the queasiness or the upset stomach or the flushing effect is, but it's something that most people run into with this peptide. And then lastly, if you begin using this peptide and you're taking too much too fast, and this has happened for me, I've taken too much too fast and I've developed some freckles, and if you have some moles or things like that, they can darken up pretty quickly. So really, what I would recommend and what I do for myself is start with the very lowest dose, and then you don't even really have to build up from there. You can stay on a pretty low dose and get everything you'd want out of this peptide. I've probably had this vial itself for like over 1.5 years now, and it still works good. Really just the lowest dose. That's with anything. Like, you don't need to jump in. You can always do more, so always start with the lowest effective dose. And then actually lastly, there is one thing which may be a benefit for some and may be a negative for others. So this is kind of right in the middle. It can suppress appetite. Like I did say, it does cause some of that queasiness, but that queasiness for some can carry over, not to where they're extremely queasy and nauseous or things like that all day, but it does have some type of appetite blunting effect. So it's great for me when I'm dieting because it kind of helps regulate some things and kind of calm some of those cravings down. It's great post competition when the cravings are just insane. However, if I'm trying to push a lot of food in my off season, man, like this stuff can't be in because it knocks your appetite down pretty good. So guys, that's everything I got for you on Melanotan 2. If you found this video helpful, or if you have taken this peptide personally and want to share some of your experience, comment below. Or if you feel like you want to share this with somebody who may benefit from getting a better understanding of this peptide, go ahead and share it with them. And like I said, guys, this is not medical advice. This is not advice whatsoever. This is personally just my experience with this peptide and for anything that I do discuss on this channel. So I appreciate your support. comment, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.